Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Liverpool panel show. Ladies and gentlemen, the show must go on. The show must continue. Make sure guys are liking the video on your way in. Make sure guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single one of you guys right now, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Keep getting involved in the chat. Keep letting me know your opinions. Big up to every single one of you guys. And yeah, we're here. This is going to be an incredible show. We're going to talk about Florian Wirtz. We are going to talk about, you get me? We're going to talk about Florian Wirtz. We're going to be talking about Darwin Nunez leaving. We're going to be talking about what next for Liverpool. Is it Ekitike? Is it some other players that Kmack is going to crazily present the concept of us buying? And speaking of the crazy man himself, he makes his return to the Liverpool show. Man like Kmack is in the building. You good, Kmack?
I'm good. How you doing? Hope you're safe, mate. Hope you're safe.
I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm good. Don't
I've got lots of wild stuff to talk about, mate. Don't worry. Lots of
yes, I know. I know you do. I appreciate you, Kmack. Yeah. Joining us next on the channel, speaking of wild stuff, you get me, the wildest man known to mankind is here. Man like Jamie Phillips. How you doing, Jamie? He's gonna have a shock. Like, oh, how am I the wild guy?
No, I'll take being wild, man. Yeah. No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Being wild's better than being boring. You know what I mean?
When did you grow your hair back?
Oh, no, it's a miracle, isn't it? It's a miracle, isn't it? Miracle. I went to Turkey on holiday.
It's crazy. Big up to you. Joining us next on the channel, you get me? The biggest fraud in the universe of Canada. You get me? I'm sure he's going to be doing a lot of FSG prop today because that's just the type of person he is. Man like Emeka's in the building. You good, Emeka?
Big up, everybody. I'm glad you're okay. Sam, first and foremost.
Thank you.
Florian Friday. It's a beautiful day. And of course, in Michael Edwards, I trust and we trust. So we're here. Let's talk about it.
100%. Big up the nerds. And joining us last but not least, you get me, the man with the stash. He predicted the Thunder to beat the Pacers, and the Pacers are currently 2-1 up. You get me? So not only are his football predictions wrong, also his basketball predictions are wrong. But we love him anyway. Man like Mike is in the building. How you doing, Mike?
My football predictions are more right than yours. I started talking with Chess back in January. But you know what? This is a different conversation we can have. And also the Thunder are beating themselves. If you're watching that series, they're by far the better team. They're just victims of circumstance and inexperience. But we're gonna see who's gonna end up winning it at the end of the day. But big up Florian, big up Liverpool. I don't know. Big up anything.
Yeah, big up everything. Facts. Big up to Alex who says, hi Osam, hope you're safe. Crazy man right now. This guys versus this guys. Yeah, it's crazy, make no mistake, but alhamdulillah, I'm safe. Everything is good right now. Hopefully this whole situation just ends and we can finally get peace in the region. Big up to you, Alex. David says, play the Cole Palmer song. You really love this Cole Palmer slander.
Nickname Cole Palmer, cool as a breeze, cutting through defenders with elegant ease. Used to curl him in top corner divine, now he's playing like Sancho, partners in crime. Where's Cole Palmer? Nobody knows. He's ghosting the games, disappearing in shows. His goals have gone south, his assists took a flight. Cole Palmer got colder in the frost of the night. Oh, winter's a thief, it can steal your flame. Turn a hotshot star into half of a name. They're searching the pitch, calling his name bold. Where is Cole Palmer? Did he turn to pure cold?
To me, fairs. That's the song right there. 100 million going for Isak according to Kmack. Lee, I thought you're not a Newcastle fan. It's crazy, mate. It's crazy. You've been exposed.
Easy.
Also, I'm glad you've subscribed to Kmack, unlike Scraps. You get me? Can we cook El Rodente for a bit first? Shall we start with the Trent topic, you guys? Is that
who cares?
Wait. Is this Michael Edwards stuff real?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. The article says that he's unemployed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't think there's any need to talk about a player who doesn't play for Liverpool. This is a Liverpool show.
Up to you guys.
I do think we need to talk about that. We need to bring back up some topics on that one. I think, even if it's just minutes.
Okay. So I'll let Emeka start off this topic. Before we do, guys, Kmack channel is in the description. Mike Das LFC is in the description. And Jamie Phillips football chats is all in the description. All of these guys' channels is in the description. Please do go give them a subscribe and go show them some love. Make sure guys are liking the video. Make sure guys are subscribing to the channel as well if you're yet to do so. Big up to everyone who shows us love. Big up to you, Scottish Bear, as well. Always telling people to like the video. So let's start off by talking about Trent. Emeka, the floor is yours. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, and this should be the last time we talk about him, obviously, but I think it was tough. It was hard to watch that speech in fluent Spanish, obviously, but I think it was a wake-up call for everyone that was defending Trent. Thankfully, I was on the right side of history the whole time. I saw your videos, Hussam, which is very nice to see. I saw you also joined the right side of history and saw what I've seen from the start. And I think now, after seeing that, we can go through a lot of what we've seen this year. And when you piece it all together, he's kind of been throwing it in the fans' face the whole time. There you go. I think one of the worst ones that kind of went over people's head is if you go on his Instagram, he has an ad on there for, I think it's Google Pixel, and he's in like Real Madrid colors, like black and white. And he's like, count on me to make the switch, wink, like in the caption. And at the time, I thought it was a little bit weird. I'm like, But now in retrospect, again, and then even the photo he had from our game against Leverkusen, where we slapped them for love, and the one photo you put up is you and shabby, no caption. It was all and then Real ended up using that photo on their Twitter page, right? So again, I just think it just exposed who this guy is. And watching that, I was naturally seething, but more than anyone else, I was seething at Klopp. Because I felt as though our new manager, Slot, I think he handled it perfectly. Because make no mistake, he knew what he was doing when he brought Trent on at halftime against Arsenal. He knew what he was doing. He knew he was going to get booed, etc. And even after the game, he made it clear that he wasn't going to tell the fans what to do. And then Klopp came, said, hey, we shouldn't boo him. I turned off my TV. And if you go back and listen to what Slot said, this was after Klopp made those comments. Again, he's like, he doubled down. Again, Slot knew what he was doing again. He didn't have to bring up that that he felt Trent wasn't trying in practice and he had to get on him. Slot's a very calculated guy. And I think he made a point of distancing himself from Trent in the end. And he wanted him booed. He wanted him to feel that wrath of Anfield. And Klopp had to come in and I hated the part of that speech where Trent felt as though we were giving him some sort of a send-off, or he's like, I loved how the fans treated me on my way out and how everyone clapped for me. And I said it on the Liverpool show, I think right after the trophy lift to Sam, where I was pissed when he kissed the badge walking up to get his medal. And it's like, you're a player that's leaving, which we know you've been planning to leave for the last 2 years. A player that didn't do any interviews all year. He was hiding from the cameras all year, didn't want to talk, didn't want to do anything. And then Daddy Klopp comes in, puts his arm around his old son. And if you go back and look at that trophy lift, there's no player on our team that held that trophy or paraded that trophy around more than Trent Alexander-Arnold. Not one. Every chance he could get to grab the trophy, he was grabbing it. Every chance he could get to be in front of the camera, he was in front of the camera. And I blame that on Klopp, honestly. I think he made a really big mistake there, telling the fans how to feel. And I hope he realizes that after watching that display that we all had to watch there. And I think it was my biggest takeaway is how happy I am that as much as I love Klopp, I love everything he's done for the football club, but I'm just happy this new direction that we're going in, which I think is going to be a more ruthless direction with Slot and Edwards back at the helm. No more of this relationship FC. No more of this anything goes, clapping Trent on his way out when he's turning his back on his team in the way that he has. I'm just happy that era is behind us. We have Florian Wirtz coming in now. We don't have to think about Trent anymore. And my hope is that, honestly, my one hope, which I don't know if it'll come true next year. I know we always face Real. My issue is I think we'll face them next year, but I don't think it'll be at Anfield because we faced them at Anfield this year. So I'm hoping that we can maybe get them in the.
We are so gonna face them at Anfield. I promise you, that game is so gonna happen.
It would have to be in the knockout rounds, though.
No, I think it's gonna happen group stages. It's written in the stars. UEFA want to make money, mate. Let's just all be serious. That's a money-making game right there. 100%.
It's the biggest game in Europe right now, really.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Mark it down right now. 14th June 2025. Hussam is already predicting we're gonna play Madrid in group stages. I promise.
Do we all really think that UEFA Champions League draw was by chance? All the teams that we drawn won their leagues. Like, it was the biggest. They were the biggest games. Like, they were the biggest games out of all of them.
Correlation is not causation. That's basic statistics. Every minute that we spend talking
as well, though. I think that's also in the Matrix.
Every single minute we spend talking about Trent just adds fuel. Like, who gives a shit? He's not at Liverpool anymore. Anything that's in the past is in the past. Anyone's opinion on it, you know what? We had like 4 straight weeks to sit here and all have different opinions on how he went about this.
Jamie gives a shit because as soon as the thing happened, he immediately messages me going like, he's the biggest rat ever.
I care badly. I care badly.
No, I'm not saying
one thing, Mike.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't care. But
there's one thing, Mike.
All of this time, we had all of this time to go over all of this.
There's one thing that no one's talking about that he said in that interview. And he said he was celebrating Real Madrid winning 3 Champions League finals. He was playing against Real Madrid in one of them.
Hey, yeah, but like, who cares, bro?
That's just weird.
No,
that just really irks me inside. He was cheering for a team that we were playing against to win, and we lost, and it was his fault.
With the Trent thing, I care deeply because he's a maggot. Yeah,
that's great.
Look, when you go to a club, when you're a Scouser, and if you're a Scouser, right, you are Liverpool and Everton is your life. That's it. Yeah, there's no bigger clubs. You know, even if you're an Everton fan, there's no bigger club if you're a Scouser, right? To say it's a dream come true, playing for Real Madrid, when they've been a European rival of Liverpool for so many years now, it's just not the right thing. And then he had a backtrack really quickly in his interview as well, when he talks about it. He basically planned it. Look, I've heard people say he memorized a few lines of Spanish and just spoke it. I don't know if anyone's tried to memorize foreign language before. You stumble over it. Yeah, you stumble over it.
That's why I turned because of the speech.
He's been learning Spanish. This has been his goal, and his whole goal is a brand deal. The reason Trent went to Real Madrid is a brand deal. As soon as he's gone to Real Madrid, he's changed his name. He came out of all that bollocks saying, no one understands my name. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'll get called Arnold sometimes, or Alexander. I've never heard that in football ever.
It's a crock of shit. It's a crock of shit.
He just wanted a brand deal, and that's where he went to Real Madrid for. He wanted a brand deal. Now he's Trent 12, and that's his brand. And look, good luck to him, man. Enjoy it. But, you know, he might as well be a Mancunian from there on. Trent might as well be a Manc, because I doubt he's ever be allowed back in the city again.
Yeah, it's true.
The best part was when he said the owners told him he's welcome to come back to Anfield anytime he wants, and he can't wait to come back.
That's called being courteous and professional, because that's what FSG are. They're courteous.
The guy's not going to play in the Legends. I'll tell you that. The guy will not play in the Legends. And have you also seen
Michael Owen?
Power advert? Have you seen the Paddy Power advert with all of our Legends?
Does Michael Owen play in the Legends?
No.
Has Michael Owen ever played in the Legends?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does, guys. Yes, he does.
So then there you go. Who gives a shit about the Legends game? It's a fucking Legends game. If you pay money to go watch a bunch of old men kick a soccer ball around, please, for the love of God, find
I'd
something else.
rather go and watch a Legends game than an Arsenal game. Just let you know.
I'm 100% with you there, but at that point, I'd rather just stop watching football. I'd rather just stop watching football.
Does Michael Owen actually play in our Legends games?
No.
The whole
he did do it even like 2 years after moving to Man United. And I remember there was a viral clip like literally like 12 years ago where a guy called in to LFC TV and was crying because some fans booed Michael Owen. I'll never forget that clip, by the way. Never forget that.
The whole
he got booed in the charity game, by the way.
This is like legit his attempt to try. Like, I'm convinced that the only reason why he left is because some deluded human being has whispered into his ear that he actually has a fighting chance of winning a Ballon d'Or. And the only way he can do that is to go by one name, because as everyone knows, anyone who wins a Ballon d'Or only has one name. They don't have an asterisk in between their names. It's either Messi, Ronaldo, Zidane, right? And this whole like first name brand thing, it's a PR crock of shit. It's a PR crock of shit.
I've got a name for you that's going to win the Ballon d'Or in a few years' time. Wirtz. And he's going to be playing for Liverpool.
Yes, that's the perfect segue right there. Let me just read these two super chats and we move on to talk about Florian Wirtz. Big up to Laith who says, Ma'as-salama, Darwin. Bye-bye. What do you think about the Osimhen rumors? Oh, Darwin leaving is such a pleasure. Thank God we don't have ends to gaslight today or legs to gaslight today. We good? You get me? So this week is a safe week. It's a safe space. You get me? We will let bygones be bygones with what Mike Das did. You know, so
what?
we'll let it go. I just said
what
we'll let bygones be bygones. So we'll let bygones be bygones with the whole Nunez thing. We'll speak about Nunez in a bit.
We should also leave the whole leopard in the tree analogy behind us. So I can leave Darwin behind. You can.
By the way, the whole leopard in the tree analogy was spot on.
No, we were a lion in your face. That's what we were.
No, we were not. We were a leopard in the tree because the leopard is the most efficient hunter out of all the cats. Because the leopard. This is the thing, the part, because people don't watch National Geographic. When the leopard gets its gazelle up the tree,
kills it.
Yeah, because then a lion can't catch it and a tiger can't catch it.
It's smart.
Yeah. There you go. 1-0 Hussam. Watch National Geographic.
I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and argue for half an hour. We have too much to talk about.
What Shark Week? You know.
I'm just not delusional. Ekitike is coming, is what Lee Robinson is saying.
I'm happy with that, man.
I like Ekitike. I don't mind Ekitike. Smile that it's over, cry because it's happened. Number 9. I saw so many like stoppable force, you know. He gave defenders confidence. I saw so many amazing posts. Finally, everyone has joined me in the light, man. Mike, your calculations finally correct. Screw Trent is what Fonzie is saying. Hey, if Fonzie is bigging up Mike, then we do have to move on 100%. Anyway, big up to you, Jenny. Big up to everyone locked in. Guys, we can't have 900 people in here. We're not even at 200 likes yet. Have some shame, chat. Have some shame. We're here on a Friday night. After everything that's happening in the universe, like the video. Close the live chat and hit the like button and continue to enjoy the show. You frauds. We have almost 1,000 people in here. We're not even at 200 likes yet. Every single one of you guys right now, close your live chat and like the video. And, you know, because it's Florian Friday, which is going to be our next topic, funnily enough. I want to go to Mr. Transfers on this one. Brother Kmack. Florian Wirtz is a red. £100 million, by the way.
Not
100 million pounds as confirmed by all.
100 million. I never said that weeks ago, honestly.
Yes. Tell me, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Everybody else went away from the table because Wirtz's family and Wirtz has said that they're coming to Liverpool, and there were a lot of people, by the way. Like every big club wanted Wirtz. He was a wanted man. And then Bayer Leverkusen sat at the table trying to get loads of money out of us, and we're just like, no, we're giving you 100 million. Like that was what we agreed in the first place.
117.
Mate, with add-ons. It's 100
with
million
add-ons.
no add-ons.
Isn't it
what we paid? 100 million.
It's 100 million pounds plus 60 million add-ons. I clarified this on the earlier
right
on,
now.
guys.
So he's
You guys
not the
know
most
me when I
expensive
say stuff
transfer
that
in the
I'm sure of.
UK.
He's
because
gonna
you haven't
hit the
paid him.
add-ons. Come on, he's gonna, if he's as good as he is, he's gonna hit the add-ons.
But Mike, he's not the most expensive transfer in British history because he didn't cost more than Caicedo. He's cost 100 million. Until we pay all of that, then he's not the most expensive. So he's still 100 million quid. And he's the best 100 million pound player that I honestly think you're ever going to sign, like in this window alone. Like the guy is worth so much more. Like some of his numbers are pretty scary, actually. So I was watching Adam Cleary, if you've watched him before. I'm big up to his videos, and he showed us a stat on this channel, and basically he's got the same number of touches than a central defender or a defensive midfielder would have. So he has about 70 to 80 touches per game. The guy plays in attack. Like he plays as an attacking midfielder. Like nobody has numbers like that. Like Mo Salah has roughly around 40 to 50 touches, and he is one of the most. Kevin De Bruyne is around the 60 mark, and he's one of the most in the world. He has more than them. This is how involved this guy is in games. It's quite frightening. Like it genuinely is quite frightening. Like his numbers are just off the scale. Like, and he's involved in all aspects of play: midfield, attack. I don't even know where he's going to play. Like he could play left wing, he could play on number 10, he could play false 9. Like we just don't know where he's going to play either in this iteration. But the fact that Nunez is going fills me with hope that we'll get a 9. And now we're talking about Diaz maybe doing the dirty on us and potentially putting in a transfer request, or there's murmurs that like he's really annoyed that Liverpool aren't going to let him go to Barcelona for 60 million euros, which is what apparently we agreed. So who knows what's going to happen with that situation. But like Paul Joyce said, and also Ornstein, Liverpool have more business to do after Kirkes. So whether it's a central defender, whether it's an attacker, Osherman, then who knows?
Yeah. I mean, it's the steal of the summer, honestly. 100 million for a talent of that level, especially after the reports of what the deal was actually supposed to cost. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable business. I think we have to give credit to our board for pulling this off. And again, we're well positioned to, as you said, to bring in more players. I have my thoughts in terms of the 9, which I'm sure we'll get to later. I actually don't think we're gonna. Again, we'll see what happens. I don't think we're the players we're linked with. I just don't see us getting. Like Ekitike to me is not a Liverpool 9. I don't see us taking those risks. Gyökeres, I also don't believe is a Liverpool 9. But let's see what happens. But I think just on the Florian subject, I think moving on, even just forgetting about the stats, just Salah's the one player we have up front who just has that it factor, that X factor that can break a game by himself. And that's essentially what we've bought with Wirtz. Just a player that can take the game by the scruff of the neck and just take matters into his own hands. So Salah, hopefully this can even extend Salah a little bit. He's going to have someone that can take that load off of him offensively, that can create for him, that can create for whatever attacker that we put up front. It's legitimately a generational talent. Like Wirtz is a player that's been on my radar for a few years, and I would have never dreamed that he would be a Liverpool player. So I don't think we can understate just how big of a transfer this is for our football club, especially from a PR perspective. When you think about the negative PR that comes from a boyhood player of ours leaving in the way that he did to Real, for him to go and then us to grab basically the best player that's available on the market, it's just amazing PR for us. And it's going to help us in the rest of the window as well for whatever targets we're going for. whoever we're in for, if there's another team competing for that player in the Prem, and we're putting up the same money, etc., it's going to be very hard for players to say no to Liverpool this summer. And I think that's a beautiful position for us to be in. FSG has done a great job getting this guy slotted. He's the real deal. He's legitimately proved it. He delivered a Prem for us, no signings, same players as last year. And then he took it a step further and he said, watch this. I'm gonna do something that that we've basically struggled to do the last 4 or 5 years, which is really show our strength in the transfer market. We bullied City, we bullied Bayern. They said Real was interested too, but I don't think Real was super interested this summer. I don't think they were going to put up that sort of money. But for us to get a German generational talent at this age out of the Bundesliga when Bayern was going for that player is genuinely crazy to me. So all credit to our board and all credit to our manager. And you have to, as a Liverpool fan, you have to be excited about the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Do you know what? The striker thing, listening to you guys there, and I was just reading some stuff as well. So I did my show about this earlier, talking about, I think Liverpool might go for Ekitike, right? Because he's the striker that's most like Isak on the market. And if they can't get Isak, they might go for Ekitike. I'm starting to think now that we might not actually buy a striker at all. Wirtz and Salah are going to be our top two. Because I think because I'm looking at the fullbacks we're buying, yeah? We're buying fullbacks with extreme pace, technical ability, dribbling skills, can cross it, can do what they want with it in Kirkes and Frimpong. And you've got Conor Bradley there as well. There could be a world where he plays like a 4-2 diamond, where you have Gravenberch at the 6, Szoboszlai and McAllister right and left of the diamond, Wirtz, maybe Wirtz at the top of the diamond, and he might buy a striker and play in with Salah up top and use fullbacks on the width. I think he wants to play sort of like all the best teams in Europe right now on the ball play 2-3-5 basically, right? They leave their 2 centre backs back, and their fullbacks are overpowered, like powerful, technical, explosive runners in the wide area of the pitch. Then you have technical forwards with pace up top. That's how a lot of teams play right now. So if Liverpool don't go in the market for a striker, they could use Wirtz there because they might think, like, the striker they really want won't be available this year and they can get him next year. And with the players that we got, we can play that way. Because I'm just thinking the signings of Frimpong, if you think the signing of Frimpong, yeah, because I said this weeks ago, as much as I want Wirtz and all that, the signing of Frimpong's the one that tells me we are changing the way we play next season. Because I think Conor Bradley's still going to play a lot of games as well. But if Conor Bradley was going to be your number one right back and you're going to play continuously the same way, I don't think you go to Frimpong. So I literally think we're changing the way we play next season. I think Slot said it at the end of the season, you've got to change things up so you don't become predictable. That's what we might be going for. You know, might be using that pace down the wide area from fullbacks, pushing the attacking players up, playing everyone where they're going to be more threatening. I mean, I don't really want Wirtz out wide. I don't want to spend 100 million quid on a winger, if I'm being fair. I want him in the middle of the action where the main part of the action is. I want him close to Salah. I want him close to Diaz. I want him close to McAllister. You know, I want him in that area of the pitch. So maybe that's what, you know, Liverpool might be thinking. If they can't get their striker, they've got a good plan B there that could probably work quite well if they can't get their striker. But if they can get their striker, I like Ekitike. I think Ekitike, I know people look at his numbers in Germany, but as I said on my channel, you know, I don't know if we can go by that because Timo Werner was smashing him in Germany, comes to England, he's cack. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if we can particularly go on that. But if you look at Ekitike's skill set, he's literally the closest thing to Alexander Isak in the market. So I think it's exciting what we're going to do in the next few weeks. But yeah, this with Wirtz, Frimpong and Kirkes, our team is going to be so different next season in the way we attack in formation and on and off the ball. It's exciting, man. It's exciting.
Just quickly before you guys go in, Jamie, the reason I don't think we'll get Ekitike is that price. There's no way we're going to pay 100 million euros for that guy.
Ooh.
That was loud.
I don't think we'd pay. I think if we got Ekitike, it'd be about 65 million quid.
Yeah, but that's what they've quoted him at, 100 million euros, and he has a bunch of teams after him. They can try to hold strong. There's no way we're going to pay anything near that price for that player. I don't see Liverpool paying more than 60 million pounds. Even that, I'd be surprised. 55. Sorry.
You know
his
the thing,
iMessage on?
You know the thing that gets me is I see like a lot of people writing it in the chat is we did a lot of groundwork on Wirtz, like as in Edwards met the family 4 years ago when we really wanted him when he was youngster going from Cologne. So we kept in touch with him and we kept that relationship there. And obviously we had an advantage in this move because of that. We did exactly the same with Osherman.
I'll be honest with you.
When he was a youngster.
Let me just say this on Ekitike. We like Ekitike. I agree with Jamie. I don't think we're going to pay 100 million euros. They can say that they want 100 million euros. I don't think we're going to pay that. It might be another club that pays that. It's definitely not going to be us. I don't think we're going to pay that whole price tag. Because in the club's mind, quick math, add a bit of money to that and you get Isak. So there is no point. By the way, add a bit of money to that and you get Alvarez. So there is no point of doing that with Isak. So with Ekitike, sorry. Now the thing is with Florian Wirtz, first of all, we have to acknowledge 100 million pounds is a steal. That's literally Jack Grealish money. The best available player in the transfer market. I'm sorry for bringing this back up, Jenny. Appreciate you, but we're going to bring it back up. When the Portland Trail Blazers had the first pick, instead of drafting Michael Jordan, they drafted someone else because they needed a center. There was someone in the Portland Trail Blazers organization who was actually cooking, who said, draft Michael Jordan and play him at center. That's how good he is. Like, you can't let this opportunity go. Florian Wirtz is the best available player this summer. 100 million. And I said it on the morning show, and I will reiterate for everyone in the chat. I promise you guys, the 16 million of add-ons is all success related. So, by the way, when you win the Premier League, you get 80 million anyway. When you win the Champions League, you get like 80, 90 million anyway. You get what I'm saying? So if we win these competitions, we're going to get an 80 and 90 million. So what is 5 million to go give to Bayer Leverkusen? Nothing. You look at like the Mason Mount one for just getting to a European final. They had to go pay a add-on. That's not what we're doing. So we're talking about actual money. You know, we're talking about actual money that we will receive from success. Now, 100 million at the start of the window. I can only speak for myself. I cannot speak for everyone on the panel. I wanted a 10. Me and Jamie had a big argument about this. Me and Kmack had a big argument about this. All four of us had an argument, I still remember. When given the choice to sign either a DM or a 10, I said I'd rather sign a 10 because I do believe we lack a little bit of creativity. So we are, Sam Bowie. I'm sorry, Jenny. So we did actually go and get a number 10. And not just only get a number 10, the best number 10 available. Because Musiala's not available, Jude is not available.
He's better than Musiala anyway.
He's better than Musiala.
No, but I'm saying just so we don't argue about anything. I'm saying both of them ain't available either. You know, like both of them are not even on the market. We got the best available one. Now, what we should do, if we go back in time, if I'm the Portland Trail Blazers, I would draft Michael Jordan and then I would trade for a center. Because I need a center. So now what we need to do is we need to do what the Trailblazers should have done 50 years ago. Get an opportunity like this. And then after that, we need to still go get our striker. This is something very important, chat. I don't know what the panel's opinions are like, and I'm going to ask them, of course, obviously. But I'm just going to say my opinion on it. Listen, we needed a striker from the beginning of the transfer window, and it remains a priority. Darwin is now gone, thank God. Best thing in this is Darwin going is for me better than signing Florian Wirtz. Like it's just as much. It's such addition by subtraction. You have no idea. It's incredible news. So Darwin is gonna go. We need a striker that can just put the ball in the back of the net. Jamie said something. Ekitike, Sesko. I brought up this example 100 times. I can bring up the Squawka comparison now. I can bring up the FBRF. The reason why I would choose Ekitike over Sesko is Ekitike has the fundamentals of football, which is very important. And it's something that all four of us watching Darwin have struggled with for the last 3 years. The problem is with Sesko is the same problem with Nunez, lacks fundamentals. First touch, link-up play. Ekitike comes into Liverpool. He has a good first touch. He had good link-up play. He has good passing ability. He has all of these things locked up. He has all of these things ready to go. All he should work on is his finishing ability. Now, working on your finishing ability while having fundamentals is a lot easier and better than doing it as an athlete. I don't care if Sesko's 6'5". This is not the NBA draft. We're simply using the NBA as analogies. The best player in the history of the sport is literally a midget. Our best player is the shortest one in the fucking team. It does not matter how amazingly tall a football player is. It's not like fucking 1970s where, height, jump in and head the ball in the back of the net. That's not what matters, bro. We need to get players with fundamentals. So the truth of the matter is Ekitike has the fundamentals. And I spoke to a couple of people and they told me Ekitike is looked at by the scouts, by the people who work in the offices, not just of Liverpool, of multiple clubs, essentially as the next Isak. So they look at Ekitike and go like, this is like Timo Isak, basically. So if there's a player that's going to be Isak 3 years from now, it's going to be him. And yeah, I can't believe we got a fucking 100 million Florian Wirtz, bro. It's madness.
It's mental,
It's
Jamie, I thought you left because LF Shankly put Lewis Openda in there. I thought that's why you left.
No. I pressed the wrong button on my finger. So
The key with Ekitike though.
Can I just mention something on Nunez as well? Nunez and him potentially going. Isn't it interesting? The club that's linked with him now is Napoli, and the player that's now linked with us plays for Napoli. I don't know where that's going to go, but I wouldn't put anything past Hughes being able to get deals done. And the Osherman link has literally just popped up in the last 2 or 3 days. It literally has. Literally since Wirtz got done, Osherman's now come into play, and Napoli are linked with Nunez and Chiesa as a double deal. So I don't know, whether that's true or not. But what I did want to say was, we wanted Osherman a long, long time ago when he was at Wolfsburg. He was a player that Edwards admired when he was in the scouting side of Liverpool, when he was a youngster. And he's obviously gone on to be an elite player. He's available. And I will mention as well, all of the strikers that we're linked with are all still available. None of them have moved. None of them have gone to any other clubs. And a lot of them have gone quiet. So Isak's gone quiet. Alvarez has gone quiet. The only one that's kind of popped up is Ekitike because they didn't get the deal done with Chelsea. And maybe that's just a part of Ekitike's side trying to get the deal done with Chelsea by throwing Liverpool into the mix. I don't know. But if there's German media talking about a player that's nothing to do with Liverpool, yeah, and I will bring one player up, by the way, that a couple of yous like, but a couple of yous don't, in Rafa Leao.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why a German reporter is talking about Rafa Leao and Liverpool on a Bayern Munich chat, literally talking about him going to Bayern Munich, and then the reporter says, "Oh, and Liverpool have been talking to him as well," and you're like, well, what's that got to do with anything? And where the hell did that one come from? So I just think that the left-hand side, I'm not sure that's finished. I'm just not sure that's finished yet. Especially with Nunez, especially with Diaz and Nunez. I'm just not sure. That's all I'll say on that.
Would you guys accept a straight-up trade, Nunez for Osimhen? Right now, Napoli call you, say, listen, I don't want any money. Just give me Nunez, I'll give you Osimhen.
I would.
No.
Osimhen's a good player.
No, Jamie?
Channels.
He's literally a better Victor Boniface.
I would take Osimhen.
Has been supplying the ball to.
Oh, wait. There's only one person who said no. I want to hear Jamie's opinion. Talk to me.
I want to go better than that.
Who do you think is better than Osimhen?
Isak and Alvarez.
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't think we do player swaps. There was that talk with the Wirtz still our players swap and all that, and they're born out now. we'd buy your player, then we'll sell you our player to you. They would rather do that. So you could buy. I mean, they still could buy Osterman if they, sell Nunez and then do a deal. I don't think they'll do a swap to a swap. It's very hard to do that as well these days because of agents' fees and all that sort of stuff. So, but look, Osterman's a good player. I'm not going to dismiss that, but I don't know. There's this part of me where I don't think we play with wide wingers next season. I think there's a possibility that Wirtz and Salah could be the front two.
That's what I think. I don't think we'll get a striker if it's not Isak.
No,
I don't even think so.
I just look at the Frimpong and Kirkers deals, the way they're going to play. They're going to play like wingers. And I just got this feeling that he might play Salah more central alongside Wirtz. And then, because Wirtz can drop that little bit deeper than Mo, if you think about it. He won't play right up top. He can play a little bit, drop a little, and be that link play with Mo. Like they link up together. And then Szoboszlai, McAllister and Gravenberch will still be in the midfield. I just got this feeling about that's how they might go if they can't get the striker. If they get the striker, they go with their wide men again and play as they do, and we move it around. But I think that might be plan B. That might be plan B. It's just, I keep saying it's Frimpong and Kirkers thing. They're not traditional fullbacks in that way. They're so attack-minded. They're basically wingers.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jamie, but I'm sure you get this and you get annoyed at it just as me. San just said Fabrizio Bomba. I went and checked and there is no Bomba. San has just been banned. Here we go. Ban button has been hit. San will now watch from the comment section like a little bitch because you made me check my phone for no reason whatsoever. For the rest of your life, you can't make a comment on this channel unless you make a new account. San to ban. Here we go. You can no longer make a comment. You're a bum. Carry on, Jamie.
No, I just like, rightly so as well, man. Like, can't be doing stuff.
Definitely
like
a bomber.
Yeah. If Liverpool get their forward, they could change it up. There's so many ways that Wirtz can play with Liverpool. I know by Leverkusen at times he played up front. He played in number 10. He played off the left, inside sort of left channel. He can play in around them three positions. And the way I'm looking at it right now, I don't know if Luis Diaz goes yet, unless Liverpool get the right amount of money for him. I think Liverpool will look at Luis Diaz thinking, we're not going to give him a new contract. He's happy. If he's happy to stay, he's happy to stay here. I think they'll be happy to let him go for nothing, personally. But if they get a really good offer, obviously they're not going to turn that down. They're going to let him go. But if you've got Diaz and Gakpo, Wirtz is an upgrade on Darwin straight away.
Mm-hmm.
I could just see that happening. I think, by the way, I know people might poo it and go, that's just shit. Don't play him there. Can you imagine a link-up play between Salah and Wirtz centrally? Like two world-class footballers playing together, and then you got your midfield three behind them, and you got them two talented fullbacks going up and down for 90 minutes. I mean, that could be extremely exciting as well. That, having Salah more central. I mean,
has anyone listened to the Mo Salah interview with Gary Neville? Has anyone listened to that yet?
Yeah.
Where he literally talks about like.
Oh yeah, I know, bro. Why
he literally says to Mo,
sometimes you present stuff. You acted like there's an interview yesterday. You're talking about the interview from like a month ago.
No. I'm just he's only had one interview with him, and he this season. Sorry.
I thought he did a new one.
No. So the one from like a couple of weeks ago, yeah. So he literally talks to Mo about how he's become more creative, and Mo just said, I've always been really creative. I can set loads of goals up. I've just never been asked to do it. I've never been asked by the managers, do you want to do that? And he said, yeah. So the fact that we've got next season two of the most shot-creating action players, two of the most creative players in the world for the last 4 years, both playing next to each other, is quite scary. And we all sit there going, well, do we put a 9 in front of that? Jamie's got a point, maybe you don't need to. Maybe you don't need to put a 9 in front of it. Maybe Wirtz can play the Bobby Firmino role where he drops back into attacking midfield.
best team in Europe doesn't play with striker.
Yeah, and then you've got your Diaz or your Cody who can play like the Mane role, and then I know
Our
that's like
wingers
going back
aren't
to the
technical
old.
enough. I'll take playing
Going
Salah
back
up
to the
top.
old.
So that part of what Jamie and Kmack is saying, Salah up top, I think works. If we're
Yeah.
saying okay, I give you guys a prime example. Remember
Does it
what
work
the
or
goal
Wirtz?
that Mo? Hold on. Remember the goal that Mo scored away at the Emirates?
Mm.
Remember the equalizer, the 2-2.
Yeah.
Oh
guys
yeah,
remember?
when he's got played.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
goal right there.
Yeah.
I trust Mo to be able to be the finisher in those positions. Complete agreement with Jamie and Kmack. My only problem is right wing, left wing. Because for that to work, Jamie, and you know this, we need a winger who can dribble. We need a winger who can do all that shit. Like, I'm just saying, if we are sure we want to do that, we might need to call Bayern and go like, yo, 80 million for Gakpo, do your thing. And then go sign a dribbler. I'm being
unless you play a diamond and you don't use the wide players, you use fullbacks.
Okay, so who have we just been linked with 2 days ago?
So you're saying use Mo and Gakpo as goal scorers, basically?
Yeah, like maybe we don't use the whole wing system. You know, maybe they just use the fullbacks as the wingers.
Yeah.
You know, like, so you're playing like 2-3-5 almost on the ball, and because Kirkes and Frimpong are so quick, they can get back quickly as well. So, and they can cover ground. So maybe that's that. Because if you look at all the top teams in Europe right now, like the most successful teams, that's what they play. That's what they do. Liverpool couldn't do it last year because Trent didn't want to run back and Robbo's too old to get back. So Liverpool got caught in transition a lot. But that's what I think what Slot wants to play. He wants to dominate the other half of the pitch.
Someone just wrote it in the chat. Like, a couple of people wrote it in the chat. Who wanted to come to Liverpool a number of years ago? Who we went over and met?
I think Rodrigo's Arsenal.
Rodrigo. He's a dribbler. He's a class player. But then who have we also just been linked with a couple of days ago? We were linked with Bradley Barcola, another speed demon on the left-hand side. And I've just mentioned, randomly, Rafa Leal's name came up. Like, we've not been linked with any turbo left wingers. Like, we haven't. Like, and like quite possibly we might not sign any because we've got two really good left-sided players who played really well last season. But is that going to combine with Wirtz? When Wirtz likes to drift over to the left-hand side. If you look at his heat map, he spends a lot of time on the left-hand side. Like, that's just his natural position. So you're going to need a speed demon to get ahead of him or to get around him. Is Cody going to do that? Is Diaz going to do that? Will Rafa Leal do that? Will Barcola do that? Will Anthony Gordon do that? I know you don't like that one, Jamie.
No, I like it.
Curtis Jones is liking Anthony Gordon's coming to Liverpool posts.
I just don't think we buy a left winger.
The only one might not be dead either.
The only one we buy, if we only buy a left winger if Diaz goes for me. I just find it fascinating how we're going to play next season because, as we all know, Wirtz likes to drift to that left-hand side. You want him obviously in the middle where he can drift over there if he needs to. If that's the case, we still play the 3 and Wirtz plays in the 10 and he drifts off to the left. That means our wingers are going to be more inside forward, so they're going to be more narrow. So there'll be a narrow 3 up top, yeah, which allows Wirtz then to drift wide if he needs to, because then Diaz or Gakpo, whoever he's playing left wing, is basically an inside forward at that time. So let Wirtz go around. So everyone's got a bit of room on the pitch. It's a fascinating bit of business by Liverpool because it gives them more possibilities to set up and be less predictable next season. Like people go have to pick Wirtz up. You go have to pick Salah up. You go have to pick Diaz up if he stays. You know, you go have to watch. I know people will say this is mad, but you have to watch the Szoboszlai runs because he does make them runs that if you don't get picked up. Then you go try and have to stop McAllister passing the ball through the lines straight. And then you got Frimpong and Kirkes to worry about running forward. Like, how do you push them back? So straight away, we're asking the opposition far more questions than we already did this season, which is these 3 transfers coming in, which makes us less unpredictable, makes us more unpredictable and less predictable. So yeah, I'm all for it, man.
I still think Bradley is going to be our starting right back. I don't think I don't think Frimpong is going to be our starting right back at the start of the season. I think he's going to be rotating with Salah too, especially when Salah leaves for AFCON. I think he's going to be playing that right wing. That's my opinion. I think Bradley's going to get the chance to hold down that position. And if he can't do it, then Frimpong will start coming in at right back. But we'll see.
I'm not sure Bradley's ever stayed fit during a pre-season, by the way.
Yeah, that's the biggest question mark with him.
He was out for like 4 months the last pre-season.
Yeah.
So
that's his biggest.
Unfortunate.
That's his biggest. The talent's there. Like the kid is talented. It's crazy, but I think he's going to be in for a big season. And Slot actually alluded to it that Bradley's going to get the chance to start in that position. So let's see what happens.
I've just
I also loved it. I also loved it when Gary Neville asked how long Mo's going to play football till, and Mo said 40.
Not joking either.
No, he's after Ian Rush's record.
The only reason why I would think Bradley would start the first game of the season would just be familiarity. I don't think that. And listen, out of necessity, if Frimpong has to play at right wing because Mo's not there, that's one thing. But I don't think that we bought Jeremy Frimpong to sit behind Connor Bradley. That just doesn't make sense to me. Jeremy Frimpong is a title-winning right back for the full season, not a guy who came in when the first guy got injured. Bradley's been good. Bradley, progressively, offensively has shown, glimpses of promise. He's also shown glimpses of negativity in defense. Southampton away being a prime example of him just vacating his position and allowing the opposition to play a simple cross on the ground cross that leads to a goal. It doesn't really matter because we won that game. But under no circumstance in any way, shape, or form do I see Florian Wirtz playing anything but a 10. I cannot. I will entertain the idea that it is possible that he occupies the position that a traditional 9 would at certain times, i.e., if we decide to go with the 4-2-4 while in possession, like we did at City away with 2 10s, that's the only way that I see him occupying that space, is if we decide to put him in the middle with whether it's Soboslai or McAllister. Mo's not coming off the right. He's not playing centrally. I don't see that happening. Maybe the right wing isn't touchline, but he's playing on the right side of the pitch. Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo, they're not playing down the middle unless it's out of necessity. Unless Luis Diaz has to play there because the 9 is hurt, which is the only reason why we saw him there this season, or the 9 was completely out of form, but said player is now leaving, so that might not be a necessity. I don't see him leaving the left. If Wirtz is there, that highlights all the positives of Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo. I don't care what you think of their natural abilities. They can't get double-upped. They now have someone to play triangles with. They now have a creative player to bounce off of. You don't need to be the fastest player in the world to work with a good 10. We just didn't have a 10 who could play 1-2s 10 yards away from him. It's that simple. All of a sudden, Wirtz gives Gakpo and Diaz more space. He gives Mohamed Salah more space. We're going to get a 9. Whether it's Diogo Jota sitting in the 9 or it's Jayden Danns sitting behind him and it's Jayden Danns, it doesn't matter who it is. We will find someone to occupy that position, because I don't see Arne Slot completely changing absolutely everything over the course of one season. It doesn't make sense to me, because at minimum, Jota is still going to be there and he's going to end up playing. And we know that Arne was upset with how the 10 was playing because of his outspoken criticism about his lack of GA throughout the season. Now, obviously, Dominic started to pick up a little bit of goals, but he got better as the season went on. And then, of course, at the final game of the season, we see him playing in the 8, which I think was Arne Slot basically testing that out, saying, okay, is he capable of playing here? Because if I were to go get a 10, that would mean that one of these guys has to come out. And listen, if you're winning a whole bunch, it is what it is. If Dominic has to hold bench for 12, 15 games a season, he's just going to have to hold bench. But like I said, all the way back in April, when everyone was just talking about 9. I even remember a show, I think Enz was on. I said this was the only position that I wanted. If I could have one position on the planet to put into this team, it would be a 10, because a 10 unlocks everyone else, and a 10 of Wirtz's caliber will make everyone else better. I don't care what you think about what they did last season. They will be better players. Mo Salah will get more opportunities. People think that that's crazy to say. The guy ended up with, 40 HEA? There's no reason to say that he can't create double those chances, because now he has even more space than what he had before, because we actually have someone in the middle that you need to worry about. When McAllister would get there, he was dangerous, but he never got there because he was always forced to sit back because Szoboszlai was the man in front of him. And as we know, Gravenberch doesn't like to venture up the pitch, and for very good reason. He's not that kind of player. But to me, whether it's Ekitike, which is the more realistic option, whether it's Isak, which is the unrealistic dream, whether it's Oshiman, who for all intents and purposes would be put in this team to be a bagsman. If he comes to this team, he's not coming here to play false nine. It's, you see that box, don't leave that box ever. That is your space. In between the goalposts, in the center of the box, that's where you're sitting. We will get you the ball. You will put up 25 goals in the Premier League. Like, to me, like, is that what I want? No, but
and speaking of, I don't want to ask you about that topic specifically, Mike, and I'll come to you first. Let me just read a couple of these super chats and then we'll go to it. Play the Old Man Sterling song. I don't know what the Old Man Sterling song is. I never heard of it. First, Wilhelm. Trent, he'll be Benedict Arnold to the day he dies, is what Wilhelm is saying. Shout out to Sverige. You get me? Big up to the Swedish people who watch us. Can we talk centre backs? The only name I hear is Hato. Hato's headed to Arsenal because Arteta has a centre back fetish.
We're not buying a centre back. We have there's no concrete evidence of us selling one. If we don't sell one, we're not buying one.
There are two quick super chats that are related to the same topic. Big up to Mohammed Hussein, says, is the Edwards and Al Hilal news true? And then Hauda says, hey, genius, I have no idea if you talked about today's rumors about Edwards leaving for Saudi, since it's important for us with the transfers and the club LFC is searching to buy. Your thoughts? I don't think that's real news, you guys. I'm gonna be so honest.
Technically, it came from one outlet. It came from an outlet in Saudi Arabia, and then Yahoo Sports did an article. But then, if you actually read the article, it's not even an article. It's just an article of them telling you about an article. There's no new information. They just posted an article that basically said, hey, they wrote an article.
It says that Edwards,
and as all of us can tell you right now, we all know that Ornstein is very close with Edwards and Hughes. So if there was anyone to break that news, it's definitely going to be Ornstein. I'll be honest with you. If there was anyone to, and I mean anyone to break that news, it was going to be like Ornstein. I don't think we're gonna let go of this at the start of the project because, guys, let me tell you about men. Let me tell you about successful men. You want to know something that successful men have? Egos. Michael Edwards is now a man on a mission to prove that had he remained at the football club and not Jurgen, and had he been in charge, Liverpool would have been more successful. And this is his mission right now.
He's the CEO He's the CEO. There's no bigger. He's the CEO of one of the top 5 clubs in the world, revenue-wise.
He's got shares in Liverpool now.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually got part of the ownership in Liverpool.
I don't think this is going to happen.
Unless they're paying him $500 million, which if they were, I would honestly sit here and I'd say, you know what, Michael, go get your bag. You'll never have to work a day in your life.
I think they offered him it.
Don't forget,
No.
Don't forget, Marco Edwards himself has already come out and said he never wants to be a sporting director again. So.
Yeah. But
so why would he be a sporting director?
You wanted to ask about Osman?
If it's about 1,000 fans.
Exactly.
You wanted to ask about El Victor?
Yeah, I will do now in a second. We are building a team around Wirtz. We promised that, is what Jack is saying. Yes. By the way, the fact that people don't deep this. Forget Real Madrid, forget Manchester City. The fact that a German player said no to Bayern Munich and yes to Liverpool.
Exactly.
The biggest big dick energy. I'm going to tell everyone something right now. This is bigger than Caicedo. This is bigger than Bellingham. This is bigger than anything in history. The fact that someone who grew up in Germany with one big club in there, one big club, and like a bunch of okay clubs and shit like that.
And they all go there.
And they all go there, thank you. Every single legend, Neuer, Kroos, whichever player you want to go, barring the here and there.
This is like a Goetze. Yeah. This is like getting Goetze the other day.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Out
Götze
of-
saying no to Bayern and then coming to Liverpool type
Yeah.
thing.
100%.
So his
His dad's a Bayern fan too.
Yeah. The fact that he said yes to Liverpool for me is massive, and people aren't deeping it. There goes all the stupid pricks who say, well, who wants to live in Liverpool? Guess what? Florian wants to. So hold that. Guys, we got 1,000 people in here. 363 likes. Much better than 100 likes. You get me? Let's try to push 500 though. So make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Every single one of you guys, please like and subscribe. Kmack channel in the description. Jamie Phillips football chat in the description. Emeka still don't have the channel. We get what Wouter says. See? Wouter just spent money, hard-earned money to tell you guys to like and subscribe. So please do like and subscribe now. So I want to move on to talk about outgoings. Starting with, you get me, our favorite on this channel. Mr. Darwizi. You get me? Can I just share the bomba, you guys? Because the bomba is absolutely beautiful. I just want to share the bomba so we can all smile with each other. Maybe Mike will not smile because he still holds a bit of love for him, because you can't just lose your emotion. But this is the bomba right here. Darwin Nunez remains guaranteed exit. Guaranteed. He said guaranteed exit at Liverpool this summer, with Saudi pro clubs keen since January. Understand Napoli have made contact in the recent days with Nunez on the shortlist, and more talks to follow soon. Darwin open to both Saudi European options.
Husam, question for
He
you.
did.
How much do you
He
think?
just did the Charles Barkley. Guaranteed. That's what he just said. This is so beautiful. This is better than Wirtz. This for me is better than signing Florian Wirtz. This is better than signing anyone. I'm going to use a great manager's quote. Big up, Arsene Wenger. What did he say? Sometimes you have addition by subtraction. And this right here is addition by subtraction. Emeka, go ahead, brother. Talk to me.
I was gonna say, how much do you think we're gonna get for him? Realistically,
Depends who's the buyer.
that's what I'm saying. Like, who do you think? Because I don't know. It's like, I feel like he doesn't want to go to Saudi anymore. I feel like he wants to stay in Europe. So I'm thinking maybe like between 40 and 50.
I think he goes on loan.
I think 70.
70.
I think he goes on loan.
I've said that as well.
I don't know if Liverpool get the money they want for him this summer. I think there'd be an option. There'd be a loan with an option to buy. But it depends on the buyer. You know, it depends on the buyer. If it's Napoli and all that, and they're only offering him 40 million, Liverpool ain't going to sell him for that. But they still want him out of the football club because they want to bring a striker in. So they might have to do a loan with an option to buy, that you have to buy him at the end of that loan for the amount that he's going. We go say 60 million, you know. But if they get, I just don't know if Liverpool go sell him for less than what almost they bought him for. You know, I think that's why they want the Saudis to come in, because I think the Saudis will offer 60, 65 million quid for him, where I think Napoli or Atletico Madrid are not going to go that high. So that's why it's going to take a bit of time to let Darwin go, I think.
I can't see Atletico or Napoli going over 40 million. I can't.
I don't see
can't.
more.
Saudi only offered 60, by the way, in case you wanted to know. Saudi only offered 60.
And they'll take that. I think Liverpool will take
January.
that every day.
Yeah, they'll take that. They'll take that.
Forest. Ooh.
And he was sulking.
That's an
And he was
interesting
sulking
opinion. You think
after he
Forest
didn't
will
get
come
that
in
move.
for him?
They have an ambitious owner. I mean,
I don't think he'll stay. I don't think he'll stay in the Premier League. I don't think he'll want to stay in the Premier League. Like he knows he can't hack it. He knows he can't hack it.
Look,
he has the opportunity to start, and he's going to get paid. I think he'll stay.
If you look at it, yeah, Liverpool value Harvey Elliott at 40 million, yeah, and that's roughly what they want for him if they sell him, yeah. They're not going to sell Darwin, who's a striker, for the same amount of money as young Harvey Elliott. They'll want more than that for Darwin. So Liverpool going to hold out, man, unless they do some kind of deal, you know, and the Osimhen factor comes into play with Napoli and you get a cheaper deal for it. Like you sell Darwin cheaper because they're going to give you a better offer on Osimhen in return. You can see something like that. That might work. But yeah, at this moment in time, you know, it's very hard for Liverpool to go, give me 60 million for a failed striker.
Yeah.
It's difficult because Liverpool want
Do
him
you
gone.
think the sporting directors of other clubs though look at it the same way? Because in their
No,
mind,
because I think they rate him.
Premier League champion,
I
there's
think they
potential,
rate him.
Uruguay #9,
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they rate him.
They rate him.
But you know what PR's like in football? You know what I mean? There's a reason Queven Kelleher went to Brentford and not a bigger team. Do you know what? Because of PR. You know, PR's a big thing in football. And, you know, do I see Athletic?
Hey, well, Queven got stiff there, by the way. He went to Brentford and then their manager left.
Yeah.
Like, that is wild.
Is Thomas Frank actually like officially Spurs manager?
Yeah, done.
He's about to
I'm
snatch.
sorry, I'm just
That's
completely. I've been
That's mad.
completely
Like,
unplugged.
to be fair, he's better than the Spurs goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Vicario is pretty good when he's on it.
He's dreadful, mate. I'm sorry. He's dreadful.
Well, that's why the key word. That's why the key phrase "when he's on it" was there.
Yeah,
did you
on
say
it.
when
Yeah,
he's on it?
exactly.
Sorry.
He's on it. No, I think
bench.
I think Chiesa goes. I think Darwin goes. I think Harvey Elliott goes. I think
Kwanzaa.
Tyler Morton goes. A lot of teams want Kwanzaa, but I'd keep him if I could.
I don't think we're selling
it's
any
the money.
defenders besides Tsimikas.
Man, he's just not.
Tsimikas. Yeah, the money's good to sell him on.
I
But
think the money's too good.
there's a player in Kwanzaa. I'd keep Kwanzaa. I think there's a player there. There's a reason why a lot of European teams are looking at him and want to pay the money because they see a player there as well. I think if we can develop Kwanzaa's game, I think Kwanzaa will be a very decent player for Liverpool Football Club in the future. He's still raw at the moment. Remember, 18 months ago, he was playing for Joe Barton. So, you know, I think there's a player there. I honestly do. That's why Bayer Leverkusen are looking at him. There's a player there.
If you sell Kwanzaa, okay. Here's the thing: we've done great at the beginning of the window. Now we have to get, we have to go through the outgoings. You don't want to leave yourself short-sighted. Like, I don't want to see us sell a center back and not be able to fill that position, because at the end of the day, that's not even a priority. Defense was not a major issue of ours. Like, defense was a minor issue, in my opinion. We didn't concede that many goals. Well, we were like the second second best defense, third best defense by like 2 goals maybe, right? And yet we scored 20 more goals than anyone else. Like, I think Tsimikas will go because clearly you're going after Kirkes. You can't have 3 left backs. We already lost Trent, which is why we bought Frimpong. If you get rid of a center back, you have to buy one. You're getting rid of a striker, now you have to buy one. You've already bought 3 players. Do I realistically see us buying 5 people that are going to come in and be starters, if not people that are going to be making 20 Premier League appearances a season? To me, I that just doesn't seem incredibly logical, and that feels like you're trying to fix too many things at once, right? Fix the most important. Next season, to me, would be the time to look at center backs, especially with Konate's contract situation. Like, I would prefer to run it back with the center backs and lock Konate down to a 4-year extension. Get that man's contract done, and don't bring in another center back, because that's more important to me.
When you look at, look, I know everyone likes rotation, and rotation should happen, in football. There's no doubt about it. But I think that there's 2 positions that managers don't really like rotating. That's the goalkeeper and your centre-back partnerships. They're their positions. You've got to keep playing if you want to be successful. You need a great centre-back partnership, and you need a goalkeeper you absolutely trust behind them. And they probably play the majority of your games, because that's the leader of your success. If Konate signs a new deal, Virgil Konate will play most games. People might not like it. It's got to be the case.
35 Premier League games.
Then you got to look for a third-choice centre-back who doesn't mind being a third-choice centre-back behind 2 phenomenal centre-backs in this market. That's very. It's extremely difficult to do.
Kwanzaa.
And then you've got Gomez and Kwanzaa are happy doing that job. So are you going to let 2 players go that are happy doing that job? Yeah, they're not the quality. But like, what do people want for quality? Like, the third-choice centre-back who's not really going to play that much. Are you going to be able to get him to the football club, or you just keep what you got? I think the only reason Liverpool buy a centre back next season if Konate doesn't actually sign his new contract, or we sell one of Kwanzaa and Gomez, and you get another
Jamie,
young third choice centre back in.
We Fabrizio did tweet earlier about how we have that 19-year-old kid Lucky who we're trying to lock down to a 4-year contract. Like to me what that says is we're going to keep Kwanzaa unless someone comes in with a ludicrous offer. Like I'm talking, you're 30 million over market value. Okay, all good. I'll figure this out. I don't think there's buyers out there for Joe Gomez. Even so,
there is.
Like,
There
okay,
is, mate.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
8 clubs want him.
Regardless,
he is wanted. Trust me.
I think it's going to have to be something where you're going over the asking price. You're making me an offer that I would be stupid to refuse, right? So unless that comes in, that's just the circumstance that I'm operating under. You bring in this 19-year-old kid. He's not going to start Premier League games. You stick him in a couple FA Cup. You stick him in a couple Carabao Cup. You have him come on as a sub. You see what he's made of. All of a sudden, if Kwanzaa turns good, that kid becomes the prospect. To me, it's just like the way that we're moving on the back line. I don't see center backs being bought this summer. It just doesn't make sense.
I just think I don't think Slot believes in Kwanzaa anymore. I'll be honest.
No, me too.
I think he's like, I don't think he's got it. I don't think Slot thinks he's got it up here. And I think it's just, Slot's the type where it's like, if we can cash in on him and just get someone, like, I don't think Slot actually looks at him like a player he could bring in and realistically play in a Prem game or like a serious game anymore. I think Gomez is going to be the third. If Gomez stays, he'll be the third choice center back, which I'm actually okay with at this stage of Gomez's career. I think he's actually improved a lot at the center back position. It's just obviously he can't stay healthy. But the reason I say the center back is very important is because obviously Virgil is 34 now. He played 37 games. I want to get that number for Virgil down closer to 30 if we can. Like certain games, I just don't want him playing. So we're going to need someone that can come in and at least like the coach can trust, right? Like we do need a player like that. And I just don't think Kwanzaa's that. And then of course, Konate, we had a really good year for him injury-wise, but betting on that again is a little bit of a risk when the backup is Kwanzaa. So I just think if we can actually get a decent fee for Kwanzaa, and it sounds like teams are actually interested in him, I think we cash in, man. I think we cash in and see what we can get.
The problem is, I hear you. The problem is, what third, fourth choice centre back you gotta get that's that good, that can come in and cover two world-class centre backs that'd be happy not to play. That's the issue. That's what Richard Hughes and Mike Weddle's got to do, and that's a big problem.
That is the issue. You're right.
So
that's what they got to work out.
One thing I will mention was, and I totally get the rotation thing you talked about, Jamie. Last season, we had Virgil van Dijk and Konate that played every single Premier League game that Konate was fit. So they would play all the time. When we did rotate, and I'm glad we did, was Plymouth, when we rotated Virgil van Dijk with Gomez. And that's when Gomez picked up his injury. And then he's out for the season. That could have easily been Virgil van Dijk. So we need to have a guy that we can rotate in those games, because we don't want Virgil van Dijk to play over 5,000 minutes that he played last season.
Yeah.
He played more minutes than any other player in the Premier League, like more than goalkeepers. Like that's how much football the guy played last season, and he's 34. He needs to get rotated a bit more this season coming up, which is probably the reason why we went all in with Dean Huijsen. And it's probably the reason why we are linked with a couple of left-footed centre-backs like Hato, and I will say Inacio, I will say Hincapié, because we have been linked with these guys. And the Inacio links are back up again now. He's been heavily scouted by our scouts in the past. And he's now at an age where he could be a regular in a team. But, like you said, you've got Virgil and Konate. If those two are fit, they play every game. How are you going to have a player that's going to play second fiddle to them? The only person I can think of is Joe Gomez, because He's signed a new contract with Liverpool. He knows he's injury prone, so he's happy to play football when he can. And he seems to be the only player that you can bring completely out the cold, throw into the team, and everything just keeps on ticking away. Like we did it with Knatte. When Knatte got injured at Real Madrid, Gomez came in for about 2 months. He was brilliant. And then obviously Gomez got injured against Plymouth, and then Knatte came back in, which we were lucky that happened. But he just seems like we need a utility player that can play multiple positions, and when he comes in, we look great. Endo can do that. Gomez can do that.
Yeah. I think our dream target at center back is Lukeba. I think eventually we'll go in for him. I don't know if it'll be this summer,
That
but
ship has sailed.
you think so?
Yep.
I think too much money. Too much money.
I know everyone's saying Virgil shouldn't play as many games next season. I don't understand why he shouldn't play every game. Like,
no, but 5,000.
I just need more like games where it's like,
the thing with the Premier League, though, the games that are like, I'm not sure. That's where you lose the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? That's where you have the slip up when you draw 0-0 or lose 2-1.
Yeah.
If everyone wants to win things, man, your best players have got to play most of the time. They just do. And look, Virgil's a world class. He's still for me the best defender in the world. I know he's 34, but he doesn't play like a 34-year-old at all, and his body's not like a 34-year-old either. Like when Messi and Ronaldo are in their late 30s and early 40s, no one's rotating for them. They play every minute of every game because they're world class. The world class footballers play. It's as simple as that. They play. Don't matter how old they are. Pepe didn't retire at 41. The man played every week.
Yeah.
I just feel like Knatte, you can rotate. I get that. I get the rotational Knatte. But with Virgil's just a world-class footballer that I need in my team. And I know then games that we get, I know pick ones like if we're playing Brentford at home, maybe Virgil don't need to play that game, and then we lose 1-0 because Virgil would have been the difference. You kick yourself in the teeth, you know what I'm saying? So maybe I'm just looking at it like that. That's why when we're buying his third or fourth centre-back, eventually we've got to have to buy someone to replace Mo and replace Virgil, and you want that player in before Virgil leaves. I understand that. So that's why I think Richard Hughes and co have got a lot of work to do to find the correct centre-backs for the future, because they do need to find quality to replace these guys, and you need to do it before they leave, obviously.
Yeah.
But buying a third or full choice centre-back right now for Liverpool, it's extremely difficult to do when you've got two world-class defenders.
Why do you say Lukeba's off the table, Hussam? Why is it?
I think that boat is sailed, specifically given his price tag now too. Like if you told me Lukeba 3 years ago when he was available for 30-40, I'd say fairs.
Yeah.
Now at 60, I don't think we'd be willing to pay that. Plus, there's another thing as well we need to keep in mind. We're looking at homegrown slots too.
Yeah.
Very important.
We sell Kwanzaa for what we want to sell.
Which is why, by the way, Mark Guehi is not that bad of an option.
Yeah. But he's probably going to want to play, though, in a World Cup year. I don't think he'll want to be third string.
This is such bullshit from you, Keith. I'm so sorry. Who the fuck is going to challenge Virgil van Dijk? Who?
There's no... Jesus Christ.
Even if we sign... Jamie, I'll respond without you losing your shit. Even if we sign Bastoni himself, we're not challenging Virgil van Dijk. He's the fucking captain.
Bastoni's not a big thing.
Guys, when you buy a backup for a Mo or for a Virgil or for a player of that ilk, you don't buy someone that challenges them. You buy someone that can rest them in a Carabao Cup game and an FA Cup game. That's it.
Yeah.
No one's challenging Virgil. I promise you, regardless who you want to sign.
The only thing that's happening with Virgil is they're learning from him. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think from him? Don't challenge him.
I don't think Virgil's going to play any league or FA Cup games next season.
Yeah, zero.
So if he's playing none of them, even finals, he might not even play. He's only going to play Premier League and Champions League, ain't he? And that's that's what we need.
There's some Champions League games that he might not play if we get loads of weird teams.
Yeah, hopefully. Exactly. So
hopefully,
Premier League's your bread and butter. I can see Virgil playing all in go. As I keep saying, bring me 2 extra defenders. I'm happy for it, man. I'm not saying I don't want them. I'm just saying, what 2 centre backs are we going to buy They're going to happily sit there behind Virgil and Konate and not moan. That's a difficult thing. If people can mention names and we go and get them and they're happy, great. But that it's a difficult thing. Like buying centre backs and a number 2 goalkeeper and a number 1, they're the hardest things to do for sporting directors and managers, in my opinion, because it's so hard to get because you want a centre back, any position on the pitch. If a player's out, you want a player equally, maybe not as good, but quite close to that person they're replacing. That's what you really want in your squad. So there's no, when you've got Virgil and Konate, like, to bring 2 players in are not far off their level, are 2 starters that play every week for top clubs in Europe. That's the level we're talking about. So it's a hard job they got to do, man, in that position. Really hard job.
Okay. Let me just read these super chats for a wrap of the stream. We are building a team around Wirtz. Oh, we read this one already. This the 2 super chats right here. Big up to Dimitri. Says, I think Arsenal will take the number 9. Can we see the clip? Hey. It's just, yeah, I can't believe people think they can save Darwin Nunez. You can't fucking save Nunez, you guys. Put the fries in the bag on that one right there. Put the fries in the bag on that one right there. Big up to Thomas. Says, no one has mentioned that, to be honest, we are lucky that company is such a bum as a manager that has played in our favor. Big up, fellas. Yeah, but in reverse, no one says that, like, when any reverse happens, you know, like when we got rejected before, no one says, oh, look, the other guy chose this manager over us, you know?
No one's picked up what Slot said to him on the phone for him to change his mind.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what he said. I genuinely believe, from a football perspective, one of the biggest reasons is the fact that I think Slot is going to give him freedom. Genuinely. I think he will not get that under Pep. With us, he's going to get freedom to cook, to do everything, bro. That's the thing that
go and link up with Mo.
That's the thing that I think,
you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
That I think is different for us. Anyway, guys, listen, we're gonna wrap up the stream here. Let's go make someone's day, you guys. Max is live. He's an upcoming content creator, guys. I've seen him on MHF. He's the Arsenal fan. He's doing an Mbuemo stream. Please go tell him Hussam Raid in the chat. He's gonna make his day. He only has 1 live viewer. Let's go make his day, you guys. Love to every single one of you guys. Subscribe to all these guys' channels, and I'll see you guys over in that chat. Peace out.